right, Mr. Simple Biz Guy, let's start the show.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. Thank you for tuning into the SimpleBiz360 podcast. And we are going to just slow the train down. So we're not going to do 3 business tips in 5 minutes. It's hard, honestly, to kind of cram everything in 5 minutes as a programming function. So, it's a little more comfortable. We won't be that long. Maybe 6, 7, 8 minutes, but really want to take our time and just comb through a couple things. So again, if you're new to this podcast, we've been getting a lot of listeners recently. So we're on 28 audio platforms, and you can catch us on all the big names, all your favorites, from Apple, Spotify, over to just about anything you can think of. So on YouTube, we have a channel, the SimpleBiz360 channel, and we're also on Rumble, and we also do IGTV if it can fit. If it's not too much of a large file. So that's where you can find us. And then you can also go to our website, SimpleBiz360.com. We post all of the podcasts there. There's a podcast tab, has all 5 seasons on it. Got all the program notes, links to songs we recommend at the end, and so it's all, put together in a buttoned-up fashion. So today we are going to be talking about, can less become more? And why am I even asking this question? Well, it's interesting. I work for I have a sales agency, and I work for a company that recently got sold, and it got purchased by someone who is adopting this narrow and deep product inventory philosophy, and really looking at the offerings to the customer base and trying to streamline that offering so that we have more money and more capital to go into investing into inventory, into manufacturing. And the idea is we're making the right things, and we're not, spending too much time on periphery type stuff that's on the outside of our core competencies. And we're really going to go after this core competencies. In fact, the new owner said, we're going to be an F-150 Ford truck kind of company. We're going to get the job done. We're going to haul this stuff. We're going to do big loads. We're going to do it quick. We're going to do it good. And so I feel the same way. When I was an executive in this same business, in the military apparel business and in the commercial military and law enforcement apparel business, I always wrestle with that as well. Like, why do we spend so much time on this peripheral inventory that we have low sales on, but it's kind of sexy. It kind of gives us some added oomph. We go out every year at a major trade show, and we have things to debut and new product to talk about. But when the sun sets, it's chewing up money that could be used to going after our core products. So I call this the M&M analogy. And when you look at M&Ms, right? You look at when they started, 1949, by the M&M Mars Company out in New Jersey. You look at how they've progressed and how they've, morphed and everything. And today, when you look at a bag, a standard size bag of M&Ms, there's 6 colors, there's 87 M&Ms in there. And the breakdown is 16 blue, 16 brown, 16 green, 13 orange, 13 red, 13 brown. That's the deal. So, I look at this, and I often just kind of look at it in amazement and say, why aren't companies putting those 6 color M&Ms on their shelves to ship quick? I'll tell you a perfect example. I work for a company that makes 4 products, not 6, but 4, that I think these 4 are M&M type products. They should be on the shelf in depth. They should be able to pump out quick. They should be able to, replenish lickety-split. Basically, we should be shipping these things in one day. Now, these 4 products, that's all it was, right? These 4 products, we would get orders, and it would take us a month to fulfill it. Why? There was never a finished product on the shelf. So what would we have to do? We'd have to requisition at the fulfillment center. We'd have to requisition the raw materials. So we get this sticker, we get this tag, we get this poly bag, we get this item, we get this Swift tack, we get this UPC label. Then we have to corral it all. We have to schedule with the packaging element of the department to package it and get it ready. And then we ship it out 26 days later. The customer gets it a month, after they order it. And you know what? I went from 22 huge customers, $880,000 in business with this product line. I went down to $21,000 in business. And where I'm at today is about $14,000 a year in that business category. And why? Because people abandoned ship. They cut us off. They threw us to the curb. They said, you know what? We're not going to keep looking at empty pegs. We're selling this stuff out in a couple of days, and then we're looking at these empty pegs on a rack for 26 days. It's brutal. And finally, a guy calls me from the manufacturer, from the brand. And he says, dude, I've been watching you struggle with, these 30-day deliveries for 5-6 years. He goes, I tell you what, I'm going to put these 4 products on the shelf and you're going to ship out next day, but I'm going to build them. So I'll get all the raw materials, put them together, build them, and you'll be able to ship out in a day or two. And you know what? For the last 3 years, I've been able to do that. Well, guess what? Nobody wants to go back to the well. The customers don't want to go back to the well. Sorry, been there, done that. We don't trust it. They really don't. They don't trust that I'm literally telling them the truth. And I got a couple customers hanging on, and the stuff ships out the next day. So, unfortunately, 5 years too late. And then that 880,000 probably could have been, 1.2 million, 2.8 million, who knows? But the point is, those are the 4 M&Ms of that company. Mars has the 6 M&Ms that make up the 87 that go in that bag. All of us out there have our core competency products. We have our core elements that we're good at. Now, if you're not a manufacturer, you don't inventory it, well, you've got a service-related entity, but you've still got a core group of services that you provide. And, the question begs itself, why don't you spend more of your precious time, energy, financial resources, packaging, distribution? Why don't you spend more time marketing, sales calls, and, executive oversight? Why don't you focus more on that core product? And, I'm listening to this gentleman who just bought this company. He's saying the same thing I am. We can sell more with less. Bingo. Ching, ching, ching. I mean, I've been saying that to myself for years. I've been scratching my own head. And you know what? It avoids all these especially if you're a company that manufactures things. This mentality avoids having all these closeouts 2 years down the road where you're taking it on the chin. Your average cost for something's $8, and you're out there selling it for $3, writing off all these losses. I mean, it's brutal. And why? The success, the M&M Mars company, the success hinges on those 6 M&M colors. They pump out 400 million of these a day. Yeah, 12,500 a minute. So, you look at that and you go, wow, I mean, that's incredible. But that's where their success lies. Now, they obviously have, Valentine's colors and Christmas colors and different colors that they package and put out for holidays or certain seasonality, certain things. But for the most part, every day, and they're still shipping every day, these 6 colors. So, here's what I really just want to kind of put on the table today for you to think about. I want you to really be able to sit down and rub your chin over this stuff. Get in the boardroom, talk about it. Get in the conference room, talk about it. But find our 6 core colors. What are our 6 core products? Do these 6 colors really, really well. Bring in best practices, polish it, get the tarnish off these things, make it streamlined, reverse the workloads, put the workloads on yourself and not the customer. Flip the centricity. You're not company centric, you're customer centric. Start really looking at these core products and do these things really fantastic. Fill these orders that you get for this core competency product quicker. Maintain these narrow and deep core inventories. Deliver a higher percentage of the fulfillment rates. Spend your manufacturing dollars on things that are going to turn. Look at your capital turns. Look at your product turns. Make sure that you're governing this and you're watching this. Why bog yourself down and be sluggish with these turns because you're making all this sexy product that very few people are buying, right? Stop chasing the periphery items, Okay, so what? Your catalog goes from 36 pages down to, 8. So what if the sexy items disappear? So what if you don't showcase new items every January when you go to the major trade show? Become really reliable in these core competency products and just always be capable of providing that core to somebody. What if somebody normally buys 15 of these things and all of a sudden one day they call you up and they go, hey, I want 1,500. Wow, lucky you. We've got 7,600 on the shelf. You got it. You know what I mean? And stop saying, we only have, 250 on the shelf. Why is that? Oh, because we have 1,600 SKUs and, 1,400 of our SKUs are nonsense. That's what really happens a lot of the time out here in the business world. So be a company that stocks the core, ships it fast, ships everything that the customer order. Imagine that, shipping 100% fulfillment or, 99% fulfillment. Imagine being in that kind of fulfillment rate on the core products, right? So I say focus on the core, and you know what? Watch less become more. Right? So that's the podcast for today. And today we're going to leave you. I mean, summer's in the air, man. I'm one of my favorite places in the world. I'm wearing a t-shirt in Minocqua, Wisconsin. If you've never been there, you have to go. Summertime, it's in its splendor. The fall, it's in its splendor. In the winter, it's in its splendor. This place is really special in all the seasons, I think. But summer's here, man. Water activity. We just got back from a family vacation. Watched my 8-year-old grandson just digging the body surfing, man. He was, into it. The Gulf was teeming with waves. We were down outside of Destin. We were at Fort Walton Beach, just teeming with waves. And he was having a blast. We were having a blast. So we want to leave you with the Beach Boys today, right? So Surfin' Safari 1962, the Beach Boys, enjoy it. And we will see you in 168 hours, 7 times 24, baby. We'll see you then.